In the previous video, I showed you how to remove Alexa and the Fire OS in exchange for the LineageOS, and this basically allows you to turn your Echo Show into a fully fledged Android tablet, which you're then free to do whatever weird and wonderful things you want to do. If you haven't yet seen those videos, go and check them out. The first one is a bit of an overview video which just shows you some of the things that are possible with this project, and the second one is a full in-depth guide which will get you from removing Alexa right up to actually installing the operating system and adding a couple of applications. I personally really like this project because I think it's a really cool way to just upcycle some old tech that probably would have just been discarded or chucked in the bin, so it's cool that it's reusing, and yeah, it's good for the environment and all that stuff. So you've now got Lineage, or Lineage, or Lineage.
So it's kind of like you're saying Lin at the start, then E, and then a soft udge at the end. It just rolls together as Lineage.
You've now got that set up and installed, so what's next? Well, actually there's quite a few things you can do. For instance, you could set up and create a fully dedicated voice assistant that's got a Home Assistant backend and a nice little display, and this will allow you to do things like make use of your voice assistant to ask questions, you can control things within your home, turn lights on and off, you can view cameras, you can play music, you can see what the weather's going to be like, you can ask to show you how to spell things. How do I spell Lineage?
You spell it as Lineage. It's like tracing your family tree, but without the branches.
And pretty much do all of those things that you could originally do with your Amazon Echo, but instead of it now being Amazon based, it's now Home Assistant based. You could also spend a bit of time just installing your own applications, again like Home Assistant, but also a whole bunch of other applications, and you can pretty much install any APK, but not all of them are going to be tested and not all of them will work, but you're free to set up and install things as you want. You've then also got the option of setting up and creating controlled dashboards, and these are dashboards that are set up and controlled on the screen, so you won't be able to exit them and they're just always there. You've then got a bit of device controls for turning the screen on and off, and basically you've just got a nicely presented dashboard that appears on the screen. It's got a nice bunch of little controls, and yeah, it's fixed in place. All three of these options are all really cool and they do all work well, and there's plenty of things that you can do with them. So today I'm just going to run through some of these different options and just showcase some of the things that are possible, just to give you a bit of an idea of what you can now do with your newly unlocked Echo. These three different approaches that we're taking a look at today, these aren't the only ways that you can customize and control your Echo. There are still plenty of other options and different things that you can do, but these ones are all kind of Home Assistant focused and Home Assistant based because that's how I'm personally using the Echo. If you're doing something different and something that isn't a Home Assistant project, then just let me know what it is in the comments below, because it would be really interesting to hear what other people are doing with it. Now that you're free from that whole Amazon tether, it's nice that you've got that full creative freedom to just design and create something that you actually want and create a device that you actually want. And speaking of creating devices that you actually want, that kind of leads us nicely on to today's video sponsor, which is of course PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop shop for CNC, 3D printing, PCB design and assembly, and much, much more. You can make use of their on-demand services such as 3D printing or PCB design and have your products professionally manufactured and assembled. Some of the cool projects that I've used PCBWay for on the channel are the manufacture of these custom PCBs that fit directly inside of your Google Nest Minis, which allow you to have full local control. What's nice about PCBWay is that when you place an order, you get a full insight into your product's current state and the process that it's currently in, and then it gets delivered straight to your door. So if you've got a cool project or idea that you want to see brought to life, then go and check out PCBWay using my link in the description. If you followed along with my previous video, then you will have seen that I actually showed how to set up and install different APK files, just like Home Assistant, all using ADB. And using ADB is a really nice and convenient way. The only thing there is you've got to go off and find your APK file, and you can find those legally or not so legally. Another option you've got is to actually set up and install the full Google Play Store, and this is nice because you're going to get that full kind of Google Play experience where you've got that full searchability, so it's really easy to find things, it's really easy to install them, and it's also easy to keep them up to date. But for me, the Google Play Store kind of method isn't the way that I choose. The Echo Show is pretty small and it's also only got a limited amount of RAM, so I don't want to bog it down by just adding unnecessary services and unnecessary apps. So yeah. If you were interested in the Google Play Store and you want to see me do a walkthrough of how to actually set up and use that, then let me know and maybe I'll make it happen. The main way that I've been installing all of my applications is just by making use of ADB and then just finding a reputable APK file and just simply pushing this straight to the device. In order to actually make use of ADB, you will need to first enable that developer mode within your Echo Show settings. As well as being able to use things like ADB and the Google Play Store, there are a couple of other methods that you can use. You can install some third-party apps like APK Mirror and APK Pure, and these allow you to use their app to download APKs from their website and then use their apps to actually install the applications, but that's up to you if you want to check out and use those kind of things. They're all third-party and not tested, so yeah, it's up to you if you want to do that. So yeah, go wild, go nuts, and just install what you want to install, really. So now that you know how to set up and install apps, this brings us nicely onto our second option, which is creating your own control dashboards. With using the Echo, one of the simplest ways to actually view your dashboards would be to just set up and install the Home Assistant app, and this is going to give you full access to the Home Assistant companion app where you'll have all of the device's sensors and bits of information, and you'll also obviously be able to make use of any dashboards and use any of the controls and do all of the normal dashboardy things that you would normally do. You could also just make use of a web browser and just go to your Home Assistant instance and then control it like that. And if you really wanted to, you could also install something like the browser mod, where you can get a bit more information and a bit more control by making use of that. But the method that I personally like to use is to just make use of something like Fully Kiosk. The Fully Kiosk browser is another app that you can install onto your Echo Show, and it allows you to lock the device down. So in our case, it will lock the web page down to just Home Assistant, and it stops it being exited, and it also gives you quite a bunch of different controls and different features that you can make use of. I've been using the Fully Kiosk browser for a good few years now, and I make use of it on one of my wall panels, which is one of these Amazon Fire HD 10 device things, and yes, this one is still sadly running Fire OS, but I've been using it on this and it's been working brilliantly. To use it, it is just a simple case of just install the APK, set up some of the customization and configuration options, and then using it, you just lock the web page down, so enter Home Assistant, and that's it, you're done. One of the really cool things about the Fully Kiosk browser is the fact that you can actually make use of a remote admin, so you can turn on this feature, which then using another browser, you can actually manipulate and control what that actual screen is displaying, so you can change whatever web page is being viewed, you can play TTS sounds, you can display messages, you can put it in maintenance mode, you can turn on and off settings like motion where it will use the camera, which unfortunately isn't working in this build of Lineage on the Echo Show, so you can't use the camera, but on other devices, you can make use of that camera to do any kind of motion detection, so if you walk up to the device, the screen comes on and that kind of thing. There's just a whole bunch of different options available inside of Fully Kiosk. You'll notice that as you're going through some of the Kiosk settings, that some of them will say that they're plus features, and when you turn these on, it will turn on this watermark that displays over the front, just telling you that you need to purchase a license. I think you actually are free to just make use of these features, and you probably could use them indefinitely, but you can use these features to just fully test them out, but you will need a license in order to get rid of that watermark. And for me, and probably you, if you are planning on using this, the watermark is definitely something you probably won't want to live with, and I think a license is just a couple of quid and it covers you for that individual device. So it's definitely worth it, and the software works really well. But to take it one step further and make it even cooler, when you actually set up and enable that remote admin to do all of the remote control and all of that good stuff, it will actually appear in Home Assistant. The Home Assistant auto discovery should automatically detect your Fully Kiosk browser, and you'll be able to just add it in directly. If it doesn't detect it, you can just go into integrations and choose to add a device, and then just enter the IP address of your device. With your device added, you'll be able to view a bunch of different controls, sensors, the notifiers, and also some of the configuration options. This is going to allow you to do a lot of the things that you can do within that remote admin page, but you'll be able to do it obviously all with Home Assistant, and that's things like turning the screen on and off, adjusting the device's volume, playing those text-to-speech sounds, playing the overlay messages, and then a bunch of other things like turning on the maintenance mode, locking the device, and yeah, there's just loads of things that you can do. And although all of those things are really cool, being able to lock the device down, being able to control what you can actually see, you can actually view what the screen can see as well. So you can view like a little, it's almost like a camera feed, but it's just a picture. I forgot to mention that one. But if all of those things in themselves weren't cool enough, the best thing about this is it exposes that Echo device as a media player. And the reason that this is really cool is because you can then target that media player with different sound effects, like you can do the text to speech.
Subscribe to Mark Watt Tech.
but you can target it with something like Music Assistant. Using Music Assistant, you can then play songs on your Echo, and you can just play things through the Echo, so it turns this unlocked Echo into more of what the Amazon Echo was, all without the whole Amazon side of things. So with just using the fully Kiosk browser, we're able to set up our own controlled dashboards, we can make use of the media player, we can lock the device down however we want, and we've got access to a whole bunch of different sensors and controls. But you probably noticed right at the beginning of the video, I showed off some really cool assist looking screens, and that's cranking it up one step further, so not using fully Kiosk, and it's instead making use of our third option, which is View Assist. View Assist allows you to utilize your Android device, so in the case of our video it's going to be the Echo Show, but this will work across any Android device, so whether it's your wall panel, some kind of Android phone, Android tablet, whatever you've got that's Android, this should work. But it's going to allow you to utilize that device and that device's display to make use of Home Assistant to create a fully dedicated voice assistant. And with this voice assistant, you can set it up and control it however you want. If you want it to be fully local, you can just make use of all local services. If you want it to have some cloud connectivity, like making use of ChatGPT for the voice and things like that, then you can do that. You've got full creative freedom to set it up and create it however you want it to work. You may have actually previously seen the View Assist project in one of the Home Assistant live streams because it won the award for the best voice experience.
It's Best Voice Experience by Donny.
The project has been designed by Donny, otherwise known as Dinky, and it builds upon the voice assistant and it allows your device to provide visual feedback for the Home Assistant voice assistant using a collection of integrations, blueprints, automations, and a couple of custom cards. To set up and install View Assist, there's a couple of different options available, and all of these options and all of the install information that you'll need is all available in a full dedicated wiki. The method that I used is to set up and install the View Assist companion app, which basically just involves you installing an app on the Echo Show, then running through some config. Then on the Home Assistant side of things, you need to install a couple of different custom cards, a couple of integrations, run through a bit more config, and then you're good to go. If you're following along with the wiki, then you shouldn't really have too many issues with the actual setup process, but this is going to be more dependent on what you actually have set up already, so which parts of the voice assistant you need to set up, and if you're doing everything from scratch, obviously it's going to take you a bit longer. I do plan on actually creating a full dedicated walkthrough on how to actually set up and install this whole thing from scratch, so if that is something that you are interested in and something that you want to see me do, then let me know in the comments below, because yeah, if enough people are interested, then it's something that I'll focus on. With my install, I actually personally spoke to Donny himself, who actually helped me fix a couple of issues that I was having, so thank you for that, Donny. And also, Donny, thank you for this awesome project, and thank you also to the community, and also Mark Parker for all of the work that's been done on this project. You guys are all awesome. This project is probably by far one of my favourite projects of the year, and what I really like about this project is I think it does a really good job of showcasing just how far the Home Assistant voice assist has actually come, because we're now really getting close towards that fully fledged local voice assistant, or at least something that you'd want to use. And again, this in combination with the Echo Show, you're upscaling and making use of something that probably would have gone in the bin or just sat in a cupboard somewhere. So you're reusing old tech and you're making use of something that's new, and yeah, it's a really cool project. This project is in active development, and when I spoke to Donny, he did also mention that there are a couple of issues at the moment, mainly to do with the actual Lineage build, and also a couple of memory issues with the Home Assistant companion app. I mean, the Voice Assistant companion app. But what's great about this is that it's not great that there's issues, but let me start again. It's not great that there's issues, but what is good is all of these issues are currently being addressed, so expect fixes in the coming and distant future. So Donny's actually working with the guy that created the Lineage build that we're using on the Echo Show, so hopefully with those two guys working together, that stuff will be fixed and this project will advance. And hopefully with you guys testing it out and contributing and giving your thoughts and feedback, hopefully this project will just keep advancing, and we're just going to get that much closer to that fully fledged local voice assistant. If you are interested in checking this project out, you'll find links in the description below where you can check out all of the GitHub and the wiki and all of that good stuff. There is also a really active Discord, so I'll leave that linked in the description as well. So if you want to test it out and if you've got any questions or queries, then head over to that Discord and go and ask the guys there. But there we go guys, that's been a little look at 3 different things you can do with your unlocked Echo, ranging from installing a few different applications, to creating your own controlled dashboards, right up to creating your own fully fledged local voice assistant. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to drop me a like, and if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell, that way you'll be alerted to any future video that I do. As always, a massive thank you to these awesome dudes. These awesome dudes are my Patreons and also my YouTube members, and if you are interested in helping support my channel, which in turn allows me to create content like this, then you'll find links to all the places that you can go to support me, all in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.